Hello. So I am going to go over this first part of the summative project that you're working on, depending on whether you can do it with another person or yourself or whatever. Um, so here's what we're going to front load and help you with, and we're going to talk about something called compound interest and compound interest formula, right? So compound interest is this idea that when you deposit money into an account, right, it earns interest, and then as time goes on, your interest gets added to the amount that you invested, and then you earn more interest based on that new amount, right? And so it does follow exponential growth, and so it has a formula very similar kind of to what you're used to. And what you guys are used to for exponential growth is you're used to this y equals a times 1 plus r to the t. All right. And now what's different about this is that we're throwing a couple factors in. First of all, the rate is divided by kind of like how often this interest rate is compounded per year, right? So they might, if you have simple interest, it's just compounded yearly, right? But for compound interest, it's something where it's like compounded like, every month or something like that, right? And then that same number of when it's compounded is also used in calculating your time, right? How often you're doing that, okay? So using that, you can actually figure out how much um, how much an investment is going to earn that is getting compound interest, right? Following this. So P is your principal, so that's your initial amount, right? You still have your rate, and you have your time, and you now have this new concept of the number of times that the interest is compounded. Otherwise, it's basically the same formula. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at this example. So it says find the amount of money in an account that earns 4% interest, so that's important. Compounded monthly, that's important. If you deposit $1,000 in the account and let it accrue interest for 10 years. All right. So the easy things there are the rate. The rate is 4%, which is going to be 0.04. Your time is 10 years. All right. And then it says it's compounded monthly, right? And we also know our initial amount. Our initial amount, our A, but we call it P in this case. It's $1,000. All right. And then it says it's compounded monthly. So if it's compounded monthly, your N is 12 because there's 12 months in 1 year, right? Number of times interest is compounded per year. If it's compounded monthly, that would be 12. Okay. So now just put everything in the plug and chug here and just go. So your principal is 1,000. You go 1,000 times 1 plus, well, your rate is 0.04 divided by your n, which is 12. All right. And then times your n, which is 12. Or sorry, not times, but it's raised to this power of 12 times in then 10 years. All right. So your simplified equation is going to look like this. It's going to be 1,000 times, we'll figure that out in a second, and then 12 times 10 is 120. And so to figure out this middle part, I'm just going to do the part on the right first. So I'm going to go 0.04. I'm going to divide it by 12, and that gives you 0.003332, right? And I'm going to add it to 1, right? And that's going to give me 1.03 repeating. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go 1.003, and I'm going to put a dot, dot, dot right there, or we can put a line over it, right? Now, the thing is, when you calculate this, don't shorten this. Right? Don't shorten this because you want all those extra threes out there because it's going to give you more money, right? It's going to give you a more accurate representation. So you just leave it in the calculator. And now, so the second step I'm going to do is I'm going to raise that to the 120th power, right? So I'm going to go, and it might sound like, oh, that's going to be huge, but it's not going to be necessarily giant. All right, and so I got a number, and now I multiply it by 1,000. Okay, and so my final number, all right, my final number after I multiply that all together is $1,490.83. So just for putting $1,000, which is a relatively small investment in terms of banks, into I mean, it's a lot of money, but you know, it's not. People invest money, that's nothing, right? So you put that in and you ignore it for 10 years at a pretty low interest rate, right? But it's compounded monthly, so that compounded interest really makes a difference, right? So you make a ton of money, right? You make a ton of money. So that's good stuff, right? That's kind of what you want. All right. So hope this helps you out. And the rest of it, you're going to kind of be doing some research and all that. And so we'll kind of let you figure that out a little bit on your own. But wanted to show you a video just walking you through this part of the summative. All right. Good luck.